Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, December 23, 2023. That's 3:15 p.m. Eastern. God is there only if you surrender. Surrender makes anything God. Surrender gives you the eyes, and everything that is brought to these eyes becomes divine. How would you like to have a spiritual experience this week that is truly profound? And very simple. It's something you can do. It's very simple. To start experiencing a state of real everlasting joy. There is an incredible pleasure, a deep reservoir of bliss, and exquisite peaks of freedom, all available inside when you see everything as a spiritual adventure. The spiritual adventure begins by relating to every experience from your eternal soul's perspective. You see how the grand cosmic play of life is performing live on the central stage called the world. You're seeing people as actors on the stage of your life, playing the perfect role necessary for your soul's highest evolution. In the spiritual adventure of your life, human beings appear to be your spiritual mirrors. They are reflecting to you the lessons, triggers, and karmic issues that are still unresolved with you. What needs to be understood and realized on a deeper level is going to be shown to you through those whom you allow to be intimate or emotionally close with. If you are willing to look at another person's behavior toward you as a reflection of the state of their relationship with themselves, rather than a statement about your values as a person, then you will, over a period of time, cease to react at all. Yoga Bhajan. As we begin to lay our spiritual eyes on this world, we start realizing that the human experience is not full of limitations. We stop seeing ourselves as some time-bound meat sack of flesh, blood, and bones. We see beneath the physically dense 3D reality and can feel a deeper, more real essence of something etheric that's operating this quantum vehicle. When our mind becomes fascinated with our spiritual reality, seeing how this infinite soul is what we really are, then we awaken from the dream. We understand that we will never, ever die. When we realize this essential spiritual truth, we stop taking everything so darn seriously. Once you know with absolute certainty that nothing can trouble you but your own imagination, you come to disregard your desires and fears, concepts and ideas, and live by truth alone. Shri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Once the mind and heart open up to this spiritual dimension, we start seeing how everything and everyone is truly made of light, intelligence, and consciousness. If we're not ready or already seeing how everyone is an eternal spiritual being in human form, then we're still identifying with the thoughts passing through the mind. To shift this, simply bring more awareness to how the mind is always falsifying reality. remember, the mind is not to be trusted as far as telling you the whole truth. The mind is the source of all our certainty and uncertainty. It has been conditioned our entire life by the false truths of the world through media, others, belief systems, religion, and the emotional programming received from our ancestral lineage. When this spiritual truth becomes the foundation of everyday reality in all that we do, every interaction we have with others becomes an opportunity to experience the divine. We realize every moment of this life is deeply precious. We may feel like we are interacting with God all the time. Picture this for just a moment. You have you, us, the human being, all right? Then above that, through the third eye, we reach the great understanding. This is the cosmos, it's the universes. And then we reach cognition, awareness. And just above cognition and just below enlightenment, the end of the physical universe. Okay? Now, and you can look at the physical universe, the end of the physical universe, there's like a row of mountains, peaks, valleys. And so you go from the human being, the end of ego, the great understanding, cognition or awareness, which brings you to enlightenment, which means that the end of the physical universe, when you reach enlightenment. And then you move to the crystal world, the golden world, the diamond world. These are all different awarenesses of divine perfection. So you visualize it, you, the human being, through the crown chakra, which you then master the ego mind, and it fades away, which is the end of the ego. Once you've done this, you move to the great understanding. The great understanding is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You become aware of this. You move through the end of the physical universe. You go through enlightenment. And then you reach these different worlds of interaction, all divine perfection. Crystal world, the golden world, the diamond world, and so on. As the internal dialogue within us changes from separation to unification, we begin realizing there are no others, but only one consciousness, one divine self, and one source behind it all, with which we are all connected. When this paradigm shift happens in our heart, then our most typical day of life becomes exotically filled with the most wonderful, sweet joy. Within the spiritual perception of this life, we truly cannot have another problem, fear, or worry to be concerned about anymore. The real magic of this life is seen, felt, and understood. Life becomes this enlightening joyride when we are using each precious moment of our day to see through the illusions of the mind and realize this is all one fantastic spiritual play on stage. The simple secret to realizing we are all infinite souls who cannot die is initiated from realizing one potent truth. Accepting that we live in an infinite universe with unlimited possibilities. Accepting this. That we live in an infinite universe with unlimited possibilities. When this one truth is digested in our belief system, it becomes super easy to feel intimately connected to an infinite source of intelligence, love, and freedom. Henry Bergson made a quote, "The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend." For lack of a better expression, let's refer to this vast, infinite, unnameable source of intelligence as the God source. The God source is an all-loving, all-powerful, infinite source of divine intelligence, joy, peace, and abundance that can always be found within us, within you. Focusing our attention on it is the foundation of all spiritual experience. We cannot have a spiritual experience when we're not aware of this source or feel a connection with it. It's good to know that all the issues and problems in our lives instantly fade away when we reconnect with the God source. We stop feeling powerless and limited and alone. We clearly see that it is the ego mind that is making up each problem, worry, or fear. And when we know this all-powerful source is always here now, any desire that we have can easily manifest at any moment we are in need. The magic shows itself when we start knowing the God source is always connected with us and every cell of our bodies. My understanding is that whatsoever is given to you is precious. If it was not so, existence would not have given it to you also. Now, I invite you to do a fun spiritual experiment right now. Let's exercise your soul powers a bit this week. I'd like you to imagine that you are having a personal, intimate conversation with God. And we aren't talking about the God in the sky. We're talking about the God that you are within that body. This conversation, however, is extremely unique in that it can manifest itself through anybody's mouth, any voice you hear, and anything you see. Visualize a bright communication highway made of the purest light that is now between you and God. Wherever you go, it is still there. The divine information highway is always open, always here now, and is a lightning-fast speed exchange. Stop to feel this divine intelligence is here now and forever flowing between you and pure universal intelligence. Now, you don't have to introduce yourself to God personally to make any formal introduction. The God Source already knows you 1,000,000 times better than you know yourself. Often it's better not to have any preconceived ideas about what God looks like, how it sounds, or what the connection feels like. The only thing you need to know is that it's closer to you than your very next thought. So be brave and step into the unknown and welcome the God Source into your consciousness. Now, this is an exercise. It's about going into your ordinary weekly routine, yet acting as if the almighty, wisest master of masters is having a dialogue with you. The goal is to be soft, open, aware, curious, and present. Feel what it's like to be heard by the God Source. It is listening to your every thought in this very now moment. Pay attention to this level of listening as it creates more clarity in your communication, where you can offer up your deepest concerns, questions, and problems you're truly facing. Alan Watts, quote, "There is a contradiction in wanting to be perfectly secure in a universe whose very nature is momentariness and fluidity." If you've tried to make this connection with the God Source in the past, you don't feel any connection, or always hit some type of block or doubt, remember this is the distraction, because you're going to get the distraction. There are forces in this universe that are blocking you from feeling connected. This is all part of the grand divine plan to help you dive deeper into unveiling the mysteries of life and see what reality truly is. Often, whenever we feel disconnected from the God Source, this blocked energy is a deeper cry for healing and the fuel for a profound transformation in our spiritual lives. Through intense, deep meditation, you reach a state that is beyond thought, beyond change, beyond imagination, beyond differences and duality. Once you can stay in that state for a while and come out of it without losing any of it, then the inner divine love will begin to pour through you. You will not see people as different, separate individuals. You will see your own self and everyone around you. Then the flow of love from you, from within you, will be constant and unbroken. Swami Muktananda. Remember, anytime any of us hit a block or a wall within ourselves, this is a good sign that real growth is soon coming. The smallest adjustment to our spiritual perception of reality can create a monumental change in the entire direction of our life takes us. When a sailboat journeying across the ocean makes a tiny adjustment, it carries the vessel to a completely new land. It's often the first baby steps in this great spiritual adventure that become the most revolutionary. Any block or stuckness that any of us are experiencing in our lives was created by the mind. So, the solution can be found by letting go of the mind. Stop being so deeply attached to your thoughts. As I've said many times, they are just thoughts. That's it. Don't you see how quickly they come and go? The thoughts that we cannot let go of are the ones that cause us suffering. So relax. Allow them to dissolve back into the God source. As St. Francis of Assisi stated, a single sunbeam is enough to drive away many shadows. Any dis-ease or physical problems we are carrying in our bodies are a deeper calling of our souls to let go of some very old beliefs, stuck emotions, and memories. Our joy here on earth comes from choosing to become lighter and freer every day. This means letting go of thoughts, moving beyond any emotional heaviness that we are having inside. By opening the mind to this small spiritual shift in perception, our heart will instantly feel more safe to open up and feel reconnected with the God source. The greatest, most divine mission of our life is to tap into this divine relationship inside of us, where we feel at home, at peace, joyful, no matter who we're with or where we are. Yet, we must choose to become very humble, extremely quiet, and deeply patient inside if we wish to make this connection real. Is space anywhere supported? Upon what does it rest? Like space, our enlightenment is dependent upon nothing. So relax. Settle in the continuum of unalloyed purity. With your bonds on reality loosening, your release from suffering is certain. Kalapa. As long as we allow our ego mind to take the driver's seat in our lives, and we're not practicing awareness, our suffering will continue and get more challenging if we don't listen. So the practice here is to quiet the ego mind so that we can listen more easily. The more silence that is within our being, the easier it becomes to open up to the God source and receive the exact information we need. And I know that everyone will be very surprised at what happens. There was at one time a very powerful Zen master who once said, the quieter you become, the more you're able to hear. There is great wisdom in this. By quieting the mind, we automatically are falling deeper within ourselves and feel closer to the divine God source. We don't have to struggle inside ourselves or push harder to get beyond our fears when we want to create this connection. Establishing a sacred relationship with God means we are willing to give up our Lone Ranger attitude in this life and accept the fact that God is always here now and we are never alone. You are a perfect soul. You represent divine perfection. You have everything you need already inside of you that you will ever need. I would like to give you two things. Roots into this earth and wings into the heaven. Meditation is the earth. It is here and now. The very moment you can spread your roots, do it. And once roots are there, your wings will reach the highest sky possible. Compassion is the sky. Meditation is the earth. Excuse me. And when meditation and compassion meet, a Buddha is born. Osho. It feels good to admit that God is here now and has always been here now. This is the magical formula that'll give us instant access to profound states of love, joy, abundance, and freedom. Feeling connected to a divine intelligence is always going to be more amazing than any relationship our mind could ever have imagined. Whenever we are alone, is the most powerful time to practice turning our attention inside and allowing this divinely honest conversation to unfold within. The highest conscious divine intelligence always knows us better than could ever know ourselves. So the highest conscious divine intelligence always knows us better than we could ever know ourselves. So we don't have to be embarrassed, guilty, or shy about anything. It's already seen us before we were even naked. Always remember this. Grapes must be crushed to make wine. Diamond from under pressure. Olives are pressed to release oil. Seeds grow in darkness. So, whenever you feel crushed, under pressure, pressed, or in darkness, you are in a powerful place of transformation. Trust the process. The God Source has already been listening to our plight from the very beginning. It knows what thoughts we need to wake up to and is constantly redirecting the experiences to us, which will bring us home to our highest self. It knows how much we've suffered already. So it will only respond with the most gentle, benevolent, infinitely loving, and forgiving kindness. We have nothing to lose but our grip on the ego mind. Do not judge your experience, no matter how horrifying it may seem. There are no mistakes in this all-intelligent, conscious universe. Zero. Whenever we feel separate, alone, and isolated, it is the ego mind that is creating this illusion. Have an intimate conversation with God about where you're suffering. Ask to be clearly shown a way to clarify peace or freedom. This is the most powerful way to break away from the tight grip of the ego mind. When you demand nothing of this world, nor of God, when you want nothing, seek nothing, expect nothing, then the Supreme State will come to you uninvited and unexpected. Nisargadatta Maharaj. There's always a ray of light shining in the darkness. There always has been. There always will be. The God Source always knows what's best for our soul's highest evolution. Our mission is simply to be receptive and allow ourselves to receive the greatest wisdom and life direction we need at that particular time in our lives. Soon, we will find this divine conversation is happening everywhere we go, offering the best guidance we could ever ask for, and making us realize that we were never alone. So you can understand that we are on a journey of rediscovery of the gods that we are in these bodies. And mastering the ego mind and our thoughts while on this journey then brings us to enlightenment. From enlightenment, we move on from there. More levels of enlightenment. More levels of divine perfection. This is why this journey is endless. And this is a choice. This isn't follow the rest or the herd mentality. This is your choice. No one else's. You decide this. Because this is the bridge to New Earth. This is what it is. It's a spiritual awakening for the civilization. It is a unification of the civilization. It is realizing that we're all one. We can never be separate. The illusion that we perceive, that we see, that we experience, right, is that we are separate. Every single thing continually reminds us that we're separate. Doesn't it? And we're not. So when you have so many of us believing that we're separate, what happens? Well, being alone comes in. And none of us will ever, ever, ever be alone. Suffering comes in. Worry, stress, and fear comes in because we don't know we're spiritual beings. If we believe that, what? That out there is what's real. And we're all distracted by it. None of us are exempt. We're all distracted by it. But we begin to discover by our own choosing that we are one. We are a massive collective consciousness. And some of us won't discover that in this lifetime. That's okay. Others of us will. And the more that we discover who and what we are, the more we understand, more that we have cognition, we move into enlightenment. We move to the point where we have no reaction. Like someone yells at you, right? Right now, someone yells at you, someone badgers you, or tries to discredit you, whatever. You're affected by it. When you reach the enlightened state, you won't have any response to it. You will know that anger is love under pressure. You will know that hate is love under pressure. And every single facet of every one of us is part of us. That is amazing, isn't it? So when we look at somebody, most of us, we will look at somebody and their actions and everything, and we will judge them. Or we may get confrontational with them because our ego mind is hurt by how they're acting around us. Instead, we look at beyond the sack, the suit, and we know that there is a God within that body. And what are they teaching? What's this person teaching me right now? How many of us do that? Right? How many? It'd be hard to tell. Especially around this time of year. Many will be around relatives, friends, neighbors, right? So this is a time to really seek the God within you and continually do so. And understand everybody around you, everybody you come in contact with. There is an absolute reason for them to step into your life. I don't care if it's for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, doesn't matter. There's a reason for it. Why did they step into your life? Somebody you've never met before might show up. Why are they here? Who are they? What are they about? It's a childlike curiosity that we all have. We all have it. Some of us just buried it because we're adults. We got to be really serious about life. When it's temporary. So we're here to enjoy it. And the way to enjoy it, really, truly, is to go within. And let go of some of this. Let go of the stuff. Surrender it. Give it to the universe. Some of us are afraid to let go of things. We're afraid to surrender them. So it's almost like, children who have a night-night, a little blankie or a little animal, a little stuffed animal or something, and it's everywhere with them. It's just, boom, they're inseparable. Now, if you were to try to take that from that child, it'd be really interesting, wouldn't it? It's no different than some of us or all of us that we carry. We carry things, right? And we just won't let go of them. This is the time And everybody feels it, especially those who are in this meditation, this guided meditation call. Now's the time to do it. Not try it, but do it. Because when you discover who and what you are, then the path to New Earth is wide open. And it isn't a galactic flash, and it isn't something from outside of us. It is within us that makes this change, this shift, which is the most omnipotently powerful source that there is, ever has been, ever will be, forever and beyond. Now, some of us know this, right? Yes, there's fears. There's fears of the unknown and what you will find within you. That's pretty much goes with it. And so you'll be distracted too. The ego mind will try to do something to distract you all the time. Get out of that. Or low vibrational frequencies from outside of you that try to do everything it can to make sure that you do not discover who and what you are. Does that make sense? Sure it does. But see, when you become aware of this from a loving understanding, you go even deeper within. So in this quiet time meditation, you come up against certain things within you, look at them, and then surrender them to the universe. You don't need to revisit them. Period. You don't. And love yourself deeply. All of you. Love all of you. Not just little pieces here and there, but all of you. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take a slow and easy breath in through the nose. And a slow and easy breath out from the mouth. Remain still. If you push away feelings of anger, you become powerless and more angry. If you resist a painful experience, life simply becomes more painful. Let go of resistance and welcome all the feelings you are resisting. Become a welcomeaholic, and all past stuckness magically dissolve. Give your resistance over to God and see what happens. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We will return here Sunday, Christmas Eve, December 24, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you.